It's fine. You're just gonna see the middle of it. Yeah. That's better than YouTube was solid. Instagram was solid. Yeah. Okay, then I would do it. Unless you want me to strategize. It's crazy. Oh. I hope everyone's going to be nice and popular together. I appreciate it. Yeah. Up to you. Do you want the study soon or do you want I think so. I can try that for a change. See that. So we could do the coming starting soon. Yes. We're starting at 6 and we're pushing.
Hey, JK, coming around this way.
Of course. Sorry.
Yeah, we can take that out. The lights.
Oh, yeah.
No lights. I was like,
lights. You're like, no lights? Okay, lights. I'll leave this for now.
Vinny is, also
oh, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah. 4 people already. Let's hit 400, right?
Stranger things have happened.
Oh, yes, it has. I'm gonna put this away.
It's so important. Yeah, They nibble on the eye.
In case we have a lot about functions. Did you get the one people say yes?
No. Oh my God.
They release some new
Yes, of course. Hey.
We just can't stand it. Takes pictures of us.
All right.
Say what now? Oh, because it might be your son.
Yes, right? Yeah. Autistic self-esteem, just to remember
Likewise, we got a good challenge. We have like 6 stars. Like playing the do it.
You're not Are you kidding? I know you're not American. I know you're East European. I can smell that. You are oh, look, beauty, but who's going on? Inside one would have gone. Oh my God, one would have gone. Look, you guys have this logic. You have the same logic as Americans. They have A goes to B, and B goes to C, and they're like, so Bob, where does C go? C goes to A, right? So,
testimonial.
You got that because this is
really get spatial
Yes, I have. Your hair was different. Yes. How are you? I know. Yes, you danced over there.
I think for me, it's a way to take what I've done, improve it up there, and make it something better, which is the same thing. Use that to automate filtration anything you on this position inside, right? Like, yeah, so it's really fun. Thank you. It's not easy.
Yeah. The level is very high.
No, you're up. You're all good. Just checking out the equipment there. Yeah.
Is this all you? Yeah. It's taken us a couple years to get here.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Because we're streaming and recording.
Yeah. Well, I figured I need the base model camera that allows me to not use my iPhone.
Yes. I mean, these aren't that bad.
But they're at least.
It's on my man. Wow. Now it's the party.
Is this your show too?
And they come like they're going to and they realize,
I'm Joe.
Rolled out the red carpet for us.
economy. So,
Because I mean, he's been doing CES for like 20 years. Yeah. So what happened? Well, he just knows everybody. So you'll be able to do one of these there. Yeah, we did last week. Or, well, 2 weeks ago.
right.
Here's the one I introduced you to a friend. So this is Freddie Clark.
Hi, I'm Erica.
What's your name?
Erica Lopez.
Erica Lopez.
Erica, Michael Luna.
Michael, nice to meet you.
Eric's building really cool stuff. Well, essentially, like the red if I got
We have one thing, yeah. So, that's national.
Check. Hey everyone. Check. We're gonna start in about 8 minutes. 8 minutes. So grab your seats because we start right at 6 o'clock. Thanks for being here.
Yes. Very fun. Now, is this the call?
Check, 1, 2, 1,
We
2.
start at 8:15 or is it one of those things?
Minutes on the dot.
Check.
We can bring you as a plus one. Don't give me the puppy dog eye look. We can bring you as a plus one. What is that? What is that? You got me first. We had a walker interaction. There was a bridge stop. There was just one stop on your side, one stop on my side.
Or, you know,
It's like, oh, we had
Is there anyone sitting there? Okay. Can you make sure that all stays here and leave it? You're the best. And you can leave your phone there. Leave your phone there. Yeah. Hold them both. Yeah, hold everything. I want you to have all the
Check. Hey everyone, we're starting in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Grab a seat. We're gonna start soon. Grab a drink from the bar. 5 minutes, and we're glad you're here.
JT, I touched the light and now it's blinking. Can you fix that?
No,
Do you need to?
that's how it goes.
Oh, I thought it wasn't blinking. I was like, I made it blink.
I was blinking all day long.
Any more legs?
Hey everyone, we're about to start. If you can grab a seat, we're going to start the show. We're glad you're here. Welcome to the Park James Hotel. Can everyone hear me okay? Can you turn it up a little bit? Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. How's that? Can everyone hear me? All right, great. Welcome to the Park James Hotel. We are the #1 boutique hotel in Menlo Park, 62 rooms. And by a show of hands, if it's your first time, let me know. Raise your hands. All right, we got a lot of first timers. Thank you for coming. I normally give the same spiel every time, but if it was all regulars, I'm not going to say it. We have a Michelin star chef here. He's won 2 Michelin stars. His name is Chef Joseph Humphrey. So if you want to hang out afterwards and have a bite, we'd love that. We'd love to have you. My boss is here, and she doesn't come too often. Her name is Laura Rose. Laura, where are you? All right, she's over there. The reason I want to point her out is this speaker series is her brainchild, and she's the one that came up with this. And she said, you know, now that this is my hotel, I care about community. And I want people to come out and become friends and get to know one another. And then she said, you could do an interview whoever you want. And she sort of left us alone. So, Laura, thank you. Thank you for this as we start off the new year. I want to bring up our general manager of the hotel, Lyle. Lyle, where are you? All right, everyone, welcome Lyle. He's got 2 quick announcements, everyone.
Just 2?
Yeah, just 2.
All right, ready? Mark James, how's everybody doing? Happy 2026. Have Nick here. I'm really excited about this. A couple of things are going on at our hotel. We're going to have our Valentine's Day dinner. It's going to be Friday the 13th as well as Saturday the 14th. We have a 5-course chef's tasting menu. It'll be at $95 per person. So come and see me if you want reservations. See any one of our servers or check with the whole staff. We won't have to make it for you. And then also, on the 4th and 5th of February, we're going to have a pop-up boutique featuring the fine jewelry Rosalina. She's been with us in the past, but we'll be doing that for y'all. So do me a favor, guys. Just stay connected to the Park James website. We'll have everything on the calendar. But I want to say I'm super excited, Nick. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lyle. Everyone, Rosalina is the woman who does the jewelry for a lot of the people at the Academy Awards. So it's going to be her pop-up and her jewelry. And we have a wellness partner. So I want to bring up Sarika. She's a neuroscience, informed meditation, mindset mastery, and energetics coach. Sarika, come on down. You're the next contestant.
I know, right?
Well, I have to ask you a question for you. How many of you guys believe in manifestation? All right. So I'm hosting the Conscious Creation Workshop where we will learn how to hack our subconscious and create a life from purpose and intention. So we are hosting it in this room on January 24th, this coming Saturday. So come join us and it'll be fun. Yeah.
Hold on here.
Sarika's going to be here all night, and then she'll be here afterwards. So if you have any questions for her directly, come find her. Now you all know what she looks like. All right, I want to bring out my co-host, Nick Larson. Nick, grab my mic. Believe me, we're going to start the show soon, but this is the first show of the new year, so we have
housekeeping.
Yeah, we have a few announcements.
So had mentioned this incredible chef, and we're going to have a private dinner here on Thursday. And the focus is sustainability and green tech. So we're bringing all sorts of great investors and great founders. We're keeping it pretty intimate. We're also going to have a world-class musician. So Lawrence Beam is going to sing some songs for us. And so if you're raising or if you're deploying and if you're interested in the sustainability space, come talk to Sandra, this lovely lady.
Sandra, come over here. Let everyone see you.
Come on.
Hey, Nick hasn't told you this, but there's 3 tickets left, all right? If you want one of the last 3 tickets, come find Nick.
Yes, well, we're really close, Newman. We're so close. So if you want to watch more shows, you can scan this bad boy. And I think there was also, as you were walking in too. And then lastly, let's
Should we start the show? All right, listen. When Nick starts the show, for those of you who are new, he's going to say the words from the Bay, and then you guys have to say and beyond. Let's practice that. From the Bay and beyond. All right, Jay, come on down.
Yeah. Let's turn this up a little bit and restart this.
All right, take two.
Yeah. It's a good thing this isn't live. All right, welcome everybody to Silicon Zombies. We're bringing the best brains for the Bay. What a magical evening we
have in store for you tonight. And before we get started, we want to do a quick shout out for some of the sponsors. Of course, the beautiful Park James Hotel. So round of applause for the folks here. And of course, the Codex. If you're looking to build web or mobile products and you need help with whole agentic infrastructure, talk to them. From the health space, we've got Tuam. Who remembers the Listerine strips? Instead of making your breath nice, this helps you naturally regulate your moods. So we're going to have some of these available in pretty soon here, just a month or so. Let's see, Oak and Violet. If you haven't eaten here yet, it's absolutely phenomenal. We've got this Michelin star chef. So I guess let's
Shall we start?
Let's dive right into it.
All right, listen. This is Jay Neo. He is obviously our guest for tonight, and Jay doesn't do interviews. He's probably turned down over 1,000 interviews, but he said yes to us out of the goodness of his heart. And he's not quite the story, but you have to really understand who he is. So Jay, give us your background, like where you came from, how MrBeast found you, and where you were in in your life in that moment. And take your time.
Sure. Oh, no. Take this one. Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah. That's a bright light, firstly. That's a very bright light. I'm Jay. I'm from the UK originally, south of the UK, in a small town called Bournemouth, or it's actually called Poole, next to Bournemouth. I used to make content when I was, probably since I was about 14. I used to have these big Discord servers, and I started making YouTube videos, like faceless ones across, closer? Yeah. Okay, that's good. Faceless ones like Minecraft channels and just random things like that. Those channels probably got around 20 million subscribers, and then I was in high school. I applied for a job at MrBeast. They came out to the UK for a charity soccer match. I got hired. I left high school, joined Beast, and then that was pretty much.
Well, let's back up.
Yeah. I never do this, so you got there with me.
So I mean, we're so curious how somebody can command the eyeballs of billions of people, and they selected you. So what was that? You just cold called these people? I mean, obviously you impressed the hell out of them. So unpack that for us a little bit.
Yeah. So one of the metrics that we look for when we're trying to make a viral video is retention, and I was just obsessed over retention, like to quite a ridiculous level. Like I would study what every time my teacher was speaking in class, like every time we lost the attention of the class, I would like make a mental note of it. So I was super obsessed with it, and I used to have these channels, and we were doing pretty good with them. Like we're averaging 10 million views a video. Jimmy had watched one of those channels. It was like a facts encyclopedia channel, which is the kind of content he watches. So like they were familiar with the channel, and then I met them in Harrods in London, and then that was it.
Let's talk about MrBeast a little bit. So he brings you on board. You see what he's doing right. You see what he's doing wrong. Like, unpack that as well. Like, in what sort of direction did you take him in? What were some of the videos that you helped curate and figure out?
Can we talk about the French one?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay.
We can talk about it. So initially when I joined Beast, I was just obsessed with the retention graph. So basically, I would take a video, I would go into open the MrBeast analytics, look at the retention graph, understand, and for those who don't know what a retention graph is, it's kind of like tech, your retention of users, but like it's your retention of viewers as the video progresses. And we basically took every single graph, we analyzed every single second of every single MrBeast video. And then that was like one of my first things. I spent a week doing that. The first video I actually made was one that we did with the Rock, which was like for $100,000. I'll donate to charity if you beat me in rock, paper, scissors. And then they both ended up donating. But then we basically took those learnings, and I was really like involved with the short form team. Like that was my priority. So I was in charge of the creative on the short form team. And one of the videos we came up with, it was originally called For $100 Will You Go to Paris and Bring Back 1,000 Croissants. And then eventually we reduced it down to something as simple as possible, which was just bring back a baguette, which is a funnier concept. I can tell you, like, I don't want to sound too corny, but I put my like whole soul into that video, and so did the team that was there. There was about four of us in Paris. We filmed like 6 hours of footage for a 40-second video.
It was the most viewed YouTube video.
Yeah, it's the most liked YouTube video of all time. Yeah, it's got about.
So obviously, we're all content creators here. Many of us, we don't have this giant team. Help us understand how many people, when you started with MrBeast, were working there, and sort of what he has today.
Yeah, so MrBeast is split up into two kind of big, well, now there's more. There's many teams at Beast now. It's getting like a whole empire. But at the time, it was split up into three things. You had the philanthropy division, and then you had the long form division, which was like the long MrBeast videos you're probably familiar with. And then you had the shorts, so like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I was on the shorts team, and that was about, say, about 10 to 12 people. Who's in charge of the chocolate? I don't know. There was a guy, the head of Feastables marketing, his name was, or like head of the socials for Feastables, his name was Max, and he was sat next to me at the office. So I used to stuff my face on Feastables.
But I think it's a good message though, because like once you have a certain amount of eyeballs, you can diversify. You can go into new directions and even consumer product goods. But I guess we're all kind of curious, like, how did you know your time with MrBeast had come to an end? Like it was time for a new chapter. What did that look like?
Well, I was always running my own channels and doing my own stuff, so I was not used to having a boss. That's like number one. Like it's like when I got my visa and actually moved to America, because a lot of the videos I would direct in different countries because I couldn't have my visa. And when I got my visa and I got there, it was I loved it. It was a great company, but it's just a job, and I just didn't really enjoy that. So I quit with a co-writer at Beast, and we set up a company in New York.
So did you learn a lot at MrBeast, like things you didn't know, or did you bring to MrBeast everything that you had already learned and studied and just made him better?
Well, I don't want to sound not humble, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff at Beast that I learned in like dynamics of a team and how hard it is to build a team. And like I remember I went through 10,000 applications to try and find a co-writer on my team. But honestly, I was just obsessed with retention graphs, understanding videos. That was what I was obsessed with, and they didn't really have on the shorts team anything that was doing that, or they didn't have that before. So like that was my only focus. And I probably made about 15, I'd say, in total, and the average views were 500 million. And that was because of the science mixed with the creativity, the understanding every single second why the viewers stay and why they leave. And
that's kind of what Palo is. So we're excited to get into the platform that you've built, and you are uniquely positioned to create this. But you know, I guess we're also kind of curious, like content creators are storytellers, and if you're selling a product, you're selling a service, you need to get your message out there. Do content creators need to create every single day? It almost feels overwhelming, you know, because that can be its own full-time job, right? So how do you kind of break this apart?
So for me, the only thing I could really say, because there's so many different aspects, it's a whole spectrum. Like my girlfriend Josie, she's just she creates content that's just her personality. So whatever she posts is funny, and she does like once a month. You know, yeah, she's here.
Yeah, we'll talk to her at the end.
But for me, it's never about posting daily. It's just about making the greatest video. You know, like there is like if you put in the effort and spend a week making one video, like you could get like 100,000, 10,000, 100,000 extra views that you would get if you're just trying to spam every day and not put the care in. But that's how I do it. That's not really the common.
Did you have a video that you first made where you're like, oh my God, this got way more engagement, more visibility? What was that video, and what was that moment like for you when you saw it?
Yeah, it was a Paris Baguette video. Our most viewed video at the time on Beast was the Rock one, I think, and it had 100 million. And in Paris, I was saying to the crew the whole time, I was saying, it's going to get 1 billion views, it's going to get 1 billion views. Like, if you don't, like, imagine a little kid and a nan, let's try and make it so they would all understand it, because we're going to try and get 1 billion views. Like, we want to make something.
So simplicity is important, storytelling, you're saying.
Oh, yeah, like, I could get really deep into that. But I'd say that's the best moment. That when we posted that, it got 100 million views in the first 24 hours, something like that.
So you leave MrBeast, and then what do you do next?
Well, I had my friend Kai, who was running these short form TikTok pages where it was like Minecraft background and like stories in the middle. And he was doing pretty well with them, and TikTok just started paying per views. So we decided to move to New York. We left Beast, and then we had about 40 employees. We were doing like 60 videos a day.
And what was that company called?
It's called Derail.
Derail.
That's not public. The actual pages were called Creaky. And we had like all these like horror pages and all these different things.
You said you were doing 60 videos a day?
Yeah, with the team.
And
every single one we had to create a review and optimize. Like that was me and Kai.
Revenue wise, what did the 60 videos roughly get you a month?
Were making in the first month we were making about 200K a month from it's about 1 billion views a month, which equates to 200K a month.
Okay, and then what happened with Derail?
I don't know. Nothing really happened to Derail. We kind of got bored. It's not very fulfilling. These are short attention span things that like there's more to life. I've done so much content, so we started building tools to manage the team at Derail. And so we decided, why don't we just start? We moved to the Bay and we decided to start making tools for other people.
Can we talk about that? Why did you move? Why did you leave New York City for the
Silicon? Do you miss New York? Or is it here better?
No, I don't like New York.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends in New York. I like the people in New York. I just don't like. There's no nature. Like even Central Park is man-made. You know.
You live pretty close by. You're right here.
Yeah, I live like 5 minutes from here in the nature.
Okay, so then after Derail, what's the next transition? What happens after Derail? What's happening today for you?
Yeah, so we have a company called Palo, which is basically there's a lot of people building these great tools that are 0 to 1, like for the 0 to 1 creators. So like make me a video about Benjamin Franklin and it will go and create it and you'll get the visuals and everything and you get the audio. But there was really nobody building for the kind of, I call it like the 10 to 100, which is these creators. Originally we were minimum 1 million followers, where because these creators have such a large supply of content and a backlog, this technology, specifically LLMs, is so good at analyzing all their exact content, comparing it to their views, finding every joke they've ever said. If they say this joke, they get more views, and creating like a really great AI experience that's like really amplifies your ability to tell a great story.
By show of hands, how many are content creators in this room? Okay, great.
Like maybe half. 40,
These
40%.
people want to join Palo. What is the criteria to join?
Right now, it's a minimum of 100K followers.
Who's got that?
They're working on it.
You do?
Actually, we do have Peter Wang in the back here. Wave your hand, Peter. So Peter took Intel on TikTok from 0 to like hundreds of thousands of followers organically within like 6 months. So how can other folks recreate this kind of very, like if they want to get hyper growth on their content? Is it funny? Is it short? Do they got to focus on the right channel? Do they collaborate with other content? Unpack this for us. How can the entrepreneurs in the audience here get to the next level of content creation, Jack, please?
Right. Well, there's a lot of, like I said, it's a whole spectrum. So we don't have enough time to go deep onto everyone. But I'd say the number one underlying overarching thing is like, it's just about telling a great story. Nothing else matters. You'll notice, like when I look at videos, I can't watch TikTok. I can't watch it to enjoy it. I'm always analyzing, and you can just tell even the most simple story is being told, and it will do well. But most people just don't tell a story. They just show things, and there's no underlying story.
Well, but you said retention's important.
Yeah.
So how can you hook them in the first 5 to 10 seconds so you guarantee that they're going to continue to?
I can give my kind of quick rundown I give to new writers, which was you have the hook. We call it the scroll stopper, which is the first second. That was a word we coined a long time ago, where it's like, what is that first frame that captures their attention? Most people scroll off in the first second. One of the secrets to that is like, the less information on the screen visually is the better. That's really like the biggest learning, is like really simplify it. It's not about loads of colors. It's just like whatever you're talking about, just show that. Then you have the kind of hook, which is the whole point of the hook is that YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, they want to see the viewers watching a whole video and they want to see them being satisfied at the end. So what they look at is, when you have a hook, are you delivering on that hook at the end? So what we do first is we think about the end, we think about the essence that we want the viewer to feel, and then we work backwards from that essence, and we work backwards, and we go from that end point to then write the hook, and then the whole video is just naturally building as an arc towards that payoff.
Let's talk about Palo. What does Palo do? If we, one of us reaches 100,000 followers and we come to you and we want to join Palo, what's the advantage of being part of your infrastructure?
Yeah, so we've been building it about, I'd say, 1.5 years, almost 2 years. I can tell you, like, Arian's in the audience here. He's like one of our coders, so you should speak to him afterwards if you get him.
Which one is he? Raise your hand. Oh, he's hiding.
I put him on the spot.
No one talks to him. He doesn't want to talk.
He moves in silence. Yeah, I mean, the main kind of benefits I would say are, like I was saying, if you have an existing backlog of content, you have all these moments, you have these it's the biggest data set possible. At Beast, when I joined, I had to analyze manually with my brain every single Beast video. We would have never been able to make Paris Baguette without that. We would have never been able to make that video without that analysis. That was only in my brain because of all the effort and labor I put in. So the AI and LLMs specifically, they're not creative, but they're really good at getting the data and expressing that data to you. So what we basically do is we take all the data of every single micro thing of every single one of their videos. We have a bunch of our own algorithms which are based off of, it's really hard to explain, but there's little storytelling elements and things that we look for that aren't just plain to see. Like there's content strategy that we built into the AI when it's gathering the information. And then we just we take that knowledge and then we express that knowledge we have like a really good script writing software and things like that.
So you're literally giving folks like glasses to see what the algorithm looks
crazy.
like.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about your company. How many employees do you have?
We have about 8.
Where are you located?
In Palo Alto.
Are you currently looking to hire?
Yes.
What are you looking to hire?
Well, Tim, my recruiter, is in the audience in the pink
Tim,
suit.
go
and ask him.
There he is. Okay, so we should ask Tim?
Yeah, ask Tim.
Okay.
What would Tim say?
Yeah. Well, Tim, we'll ask him.
Tim's running away.
Tim's leaving.
Tim's scared.
So for Palo, have you ever done a charity case? Have you ever helped somebody out that you see has potential and say, you know what, we're gonna help this person out?
Women's asking for
I'm asking
maybe not
for us.
All right. Oh yeah, easy. We can sort that out. No, maybe not through Palo, but was that just a joke? Should I answer that?
No, that was a joke. Yeah. What's it like being a boss? What are the highs? What are the lows?
Well, I've been leading teams since I was 14. Like the Discord servers used to have like 100 volunteers that we'd have. So, but I'd say like in tech compared to the creative, when you're making a video, you have one shot to post it. So it's just one moment, one video goes out. You have to be an ultra perfectionist every single second, 40 versions of the edit. You go out and it's out. You can't change it. Whereas with a tech company, it's a long iterative process where it's not just one product out. You're constantly improving it. So those dynamics are very different. And I'm struggling with the perfectionism. Like we have way too nice buttons and stuff. But
do you find yourself having to be a therapist and talk to your employees and, you know, if they break up with a girlfriend or a wife to, you know, get them back on the horse and like?
No, they're all happily married.
Oh, okay,
and they all have happy girlfriends.
Thanks to Tim, right?
Very good, Tim.
He hired the best people. Okay, that's great. All right, so now with Palo, like what do you want to have happen with your company? What do you see happening?
We're just enjoying experimenting with this tech. Like we just shipped a new feature called Brain, which is like you can actually visualize the knowledge that it has, and it's impossible to explain without showing you. And we'll put out videos about it soon. But we're just excited to experiment, see how it goes. We're very strict on who we let on. It's just
how many people do you have on Palo, and how many views do you get a month?
So on Palo, we've let 114 creators in. They have between them about 450 million followers, and then they're getting about 400 million views every 48 hours. Like
400 million views every 48 hours.
Yeah, the members in Palo. Yeah.
Wow.
Is there some kind of because you know when you're creating a product, if you've got a unique data set that you're constantly training the model on, that's got to make you guys pretty powerful as far as a platform. So what are you doing with that? What does that data look like?
I wouldn't even say it's the data set. It's more like the obsession of actually building something that's good. Because these people that you can't, like, nothing will fly. Like we have the biggest creator in Japan. Like if we build a trashy AI product, it's not going to work. So like the amount of to actually make something good, and these models are unpredictable. To actually make it good has been a challenge. It's like a year and a half of just the same people iterating on them.
All right, this is the last question. We're going to open it up because. Not to stoke Jay's fire, but normally we get about 300 RSVPs. This is the first time ever we've had 650 RSVPs. And so thank you all for coming out. We love seeing you. So let's compare MrBeast to Taylor Swift or The Rock and their like, you know, following and the way they do content.
Who would win in a cage fight?
Yeah, like why is MrBeast better than those other two who seem to have more followers?
Well, MrBeast is content and social first. Number one, right? So like the artists and actors and musicians are doing it to promote their music. The product is the music. Whereas like MrBeast and YouTubers and Josie, the product is the ad revenue you make on the videos. And if you're big enough, you can turn it into a chocolate factory. But like, so I'd say, I mean, it's a lot of difference. I have no, yeah.
All right. Who has the first question for Jay? All right.
How do you deal with cultural differences when you're trying to create a model that you might want to have a world following for? You mentioned Japan, for example. How do you deal with that, or do you try to create different models for each country, or do you try to segment? How do you segment, and how do you deal with it?
So I mean, I have some good at Beast, basically, when we were making Paris Baguette, we had to translate. We translated the video into every language. I think it was like 20 free languages or something, like the top languages on YouTube. So we had to make the language accessible for them so they could understand it. And then I would tell you, it is an extreme amount of effort and obsession on just making it the most generic, non-opinionated, like my video specifically, non-opinionated, no beliefs videos. You know, like Paris and Baguette is something that most people know. They know the Eiffel Tower, so when they see it, they can recognize it. Like, we're thinking at that scale, like, what will everyone recognize? But and then with the Japanese creator on Palo, I mean, the Japanese audience is definitely a lot different, but he's a worldwide creator. So like, he doesn't even speak on his videos, so a lot of people watch him. He's a cooking creator.
There was also a lot of Easter eggs in this video too. Like, for example, the guy who goes to Paris has a skateboard, and he has a skateboard throughout the video. Was that intentional?
No, he just had a skateboard.
Oh, okay.
And we literally, so basically, if you've never seen the video, we just went up to a guy at Duke University and we said, for $100, will you fly to Paris for a baguette? And he literally packed his bags and then got on a plane, and we followed him all the way to Paris. And then he got a.
Was he the second guy that you asked, or did you have to ask?
No, we asked like 3 people, and it was like stair-stepping. So I think he got $300. And that's I won't go too deep into that hook, but that was a whole thing right there. But
that's a good hook though.
Yeah, it was like so it's called stair-stepping. So it's like you ask someone for 100, they say no, then 200, they say no, and now you're anticipated. And when the yes comes, it's a bigger yes, and it's a more natural yes. It doesn't look like an actor because you've already had 2 people that say no. Just feels better.
It's like a build up.
Yeah,
I see. Sure.
And then,
The next question's over here.
Hi, how are you? My name's Sophia,
Hi.
and I was going to say you should have BYOB, bring your own baguette parties from
we
now
should.
on.
We should. We have a baguette in my fridge right now.
So my husky's name is Palo, so that's why I'm here. But anyway, I wanted to ask you about, since I'm a physician, I work in cancer biology, and I'm very curious about the type of content that you're procuring with your membership. Do you have a different algorithm when it comes to content that's about healthcare, about that type of content versus entertainment or other types of issues? Thank you. I'm very curious.
Sure. I mean, yes. The answer is we have. This has been most of the effort, is like to create a system that can understand these creators across any niche. Like, I can't tell you which companies we're in talks with or we work with, but like there are a lot of companies like that are working in something that you'd think is completely separate from entertainment, but makes sense because it's the best model of human psychology. Because these algorithms, you know, even if you get no views, but you get 500 on one video and you get 50 on another, that's enough data to start going like these micro moments usually are starting to get you more views. It's like a human psychology thing. So for that, like it's just about storytelling. It's like whatever you're doing, if you have an amazing patient story or something, it's just how you tell that story is the only thing that matters. The subject doesn't really play a role into it. It's like the technique of storytelling.
You mentioned human psychology. As you go through this process, is there any kind of like unique epiphanies or insights that you had about humans and why we love certain stories and not others?
I wouldn't not really on the psychology side too much. Siri is answering this right
Siri
now.
has
I'm not
some
even kidding.
feedback. This is a cyborg.
No, not really on the psychology. I'd say on the storytelling is what I'm interested and obsessed with. If you go back and watch the Pixar movies, you know, you have the rat that in Ratatouille that leaves his rat friends and goes on a hero's journey and comes back. You have the fish that leaves the clan and comes back. You
Finding
have
Nemo. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
you have like all the movies. If you actually watch them, underneath them, they're all the same. And that was like that at Beast, and it's like that in everything I do. If you really pay attention, it's all in any niche, like whether it's in cancer biology, like any niche, it's the same kind of hooking. I can't explain it. Yeah, it's the same shape.
Like
Yeah.
Cinderella loses her shoe.
Yeah.
And yeah, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
All right, over here.
Hey there. So if you can break down your app into components, like what kind of tools will be essential for social media creators to scale their operations?
Sure. So, I mean, what we focus on is storytelling. I know I keep saying that word, but it's the only thing that matters. So we don't have any editing tools or anything like that. We let the people use the best tools like Premiere Pro. So, I mean, the components of the app are we have like a really good storyboarding software. We have a really good script writing software where you can work with it. We have the brain component where it's literally like, I can try and describe one node of it, which is like you go into the narrative world, and in the narrative world, you see all of your videos. And there's one that's like, when you use this escalating pattern, and it will describe the escalating pattern that you use, you get 3x views on average. So you should just do that escalation pattern more often. It's like little things like that is the main value from it. Because I know it sounds ridiculous, and it's like, and people are going to have to adopt it, but it is really what every single second of my thought was at Beast and everything I've done. And it's just putting that into an AI system, and it works.
It's not ridiculous at all. It's like, if you don't know what to do and you have like a blueprint or guide rails, this feels like incredibly valuable.
Yeah, a good way to simplify it is like people ask me like all the time, do you film on a phone or on a camera? And the answer is always a phone. It doesn't matter how you film it. Like, it doesn't matter what the visuals really are, as long as they're serving the story. The narration just has to serve the story. The music just has to help the emotion of the story. Like, so however you film it, like all of the stuff that you think matters doesn't actually matter. It's literally just the story, and the more less quality it is, the more authentic it usually is, and the better it does. So
like Instagram versus TikTok.
Yeah. I used to have a party trick where I'd have my
no,
good question. I used to have my other phone, which I filmed the Paris Baguette video on, and I would say like this phone, like when people would ask me that question, it's like this lens has had like 3 billion views, and like you don't need the gear, it's just a story.
Back here.
Now, you mentioned a few different things. So you mentioned that the hero's journey trope is very common. You mentioned something that sounds heretical in Silicon Valley, where the data set doesn't matter, but it's about building a good product. And that made me wonder, is your system more AI or is it more algorithmic? And how often are you having to adjust that algorithm? We saw Netflix literally releasing recently, like the arc of movies is not working because of attention is changing. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering how you guys are dealing with that.
I mean, a lot of it is data because, we have to kind of spoon feed the AI. The AI is mainly used because it's the first time in history you can like really have a machine that can understand, like the words that are being said and the visuals and compare the visuals with the words that are being said. So we use LLMs as kind of like as code almost. It's hard to explain. We don't really see too much value in the generative side. It's like the code and the way that we can gather the data. And then we have a bunch of these algorithms that we do on that data, comparing it to we have a time series data set of the views and all performance and every comment on every video and all this stuff. So yeah, I'd say, to answer your question, I'd say it's like mainly data, but it is like, it's the domain is .ai, it's an AI. So the whole thing is like a brain, and it's the same brain that you can use in your script writing software as what you can use in your ideating software. That we have a good tracking analytics software. It's all the same knowledge, and then you can see the brain in the new tool we shipped.
Jay, nobody here really seems to have a team. Is it possible for one person to do everything that you're describing in terms of all the research and all of the analytics so that they can create the perfect video?
Well, Josie gets 3 million views a video, and she's a solo team. And every time I'm like, she's editing a video, I go up and I'm like, oh, you should like cut this section. And she's like, stop trying to MrBeastify it. like she's like, I don't want to do that.
I like that verb.
Yeah. So like, oh no, that's true. I have many friends that don't even do any attention to that. And their personality does all of the carrying, and their ability to naturally tell a story is great. So, most people are on their own, maybe 1 or 2 people. But if you want to like, it's like, I always say this, like, I'm kind of a bad person to talk to because it's like, I'm thinking like, since I was 18 at Beast, like about a video that everyone will watch. Whereas a lot of people need to target a specific niche, The
next question's here.
Perfect. Hey, you have been mostly focusing on the content and the timing of the content and the story and all. Is there anything beyond that, like the time that you share the content, or maybe the connectivity, social graph, like labels? Okay.
No, that's what a lot of people say, and it's all a lie. The really only thing that matters is making a good video, and a good video is a video that keeps people entertained from the beginning to the end, and then maybe when it gets to the end, they might like it or not. Like, that's the only thing that matters. whatever time you post it, it will get carried away. Yeah, I won't explain how the algorithm works, but like all those things, hashtags, that used to matter, but it doesn't anymore.
We're over here. Over here. See me waving? Hold on one second. Go ahead.
Hey, Jay. So my team and I were based in Palo Alto. We're actually launching a TikTok alternative in April. So what would you say is the one of the most important tools for content creators analytically in order to grow their amount of followers that they have?
So in tool, what do you mean analytically? Like you see, you can look at the analytics, look at the views. Then on the views, you have the retention graphs.
Correct. Yeah. So going from whether it's attention graphs or hooks, the amount of views that you get in the first 3 seconds, 5 seconds. What would you say is the most important tool that content creators need?
Well, there wasn't one. That's why we built it. Palo. Like we had to build something that could understand those moments, could understand what a hook is to begin with, and associate that with some kind of data, which is the views and the scale of the views when you all add it up and how things average out. So I mean, the answer is Palo.
Or I'll talk to you after.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, come see me.
Do you have a question up there? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. So in terms of the storytelling, I want to kind of solve all the analytics. So in terms pardon me? Oh, you can't hear. Can you hear me now? Okay. My question is really around the storytelling. So with the example of the Baguette, you had somebody went around, asked somebody finally said, yes, I'm going to go. They went on this trip. They came back. It was beautiful. Everybody could relate to it. But what was it really about that story that garnered so many views so quickly? And then how do you think about, when you talk about the hook, like the first second, what kind of a hook is that? And then how do you develop a story? So I'm interested in the narrative of the story and what really grabs people and why that first one was so extraordinarily successful and got so many views so quickly.
Do you have an answer for that, Jay? All right.
So that's a good question. Like I'd say the number one aspect of it that I learned after the 40 versions of the edit that we did and all the effort we put in was it was about simplicity. So we had all this footage of him like trying to bring the baguettes into a Louis Vuitton store, into a fashion show and getting kicked out. And we had like the first edits of the video were all these like really funny elements that when you think about it, it's like, oh, that's a great funny video. But what you're doing is you're stripping away from the focus of just the pure storyline, which is what the Pixar movies do so well. Like a lot of the Pixar stuff we studied a lot, which is that true simplifying and simplifying and simplifying. And simplifying is not, people think it's the cutting fluff and cutting seconds from the video. It's not the cutting seconds. It's how can you find exact moments and exact even sound effects and things to give I don't know the right word. Give kind of structure to the story that you're trying to tell. That's probably a better word if I get older.
But how do you know when to erase as an artist?
Yeah. Well, like for example, if you watch the Paris Baguette video, like maybe the viewers online will be able to watch it side by side. But if you watch it, you have the first second, which is that we go up to a random person, ask her if she wants to fly to Paris for a baguette. She says no. Then we cut to the second person. But at the beginning of this, I said that scroll stoppers and the first seconds really matter, and like getting into it fast matters. But like, so we had a version where it was just him. But when it's just him, you don't have the context that we're asking people at a campus, because it just feels like you don't have that context. We think about the viewers scrolling 100 videos, they just land on yours. They don't know anything. You can't assume they know anything. So, yeah, I mean, just coming back to what I was saying, it's the simplicity. I could talk if I had more time. I'm like stuttering because I'm trying to not go down tangents, but it's really about.
Feel free to get
no,
crazy with the tangent. Oh wait,
I got
says no.
I got three questions back here. Give Jay a break.
Come talk to me after.
Yeah. Hey Jay, how's it going? First of all, I really love your talk. Thank you so much for coming here. I too have so many questions, but in the spirit of time, in your perspective, like what makes a good story?
That's like a simple one. There's like 100 answers I could give you. The biggest one is a simple like.
I guess in this case, it's like if you had to pick between either like speaking to your niche or just speaking authentically and like really digging deep to just like no editing, no nothing, right in front of the camera, like speaking to an audience, which is there a sliding scale in terms of like which one would you error for?
I mean, yeah, the truth is that it's like the biggest sliding scale ever because the algorithms are so good at there's like little micro niches. Like if I open Josie's phone, her videos that she sees, I didn't even know were on the internet, you know? So, I mean, it really depends on the story of the niche. Like I said, I'm a bad person to talk about it because I was just thinking about trying to make the most simple thing that everyone can understand. Like I'd literally show the Paris Baguette versions to my mum and like look at her eyes. And if she looks away, I'd go back and change it. So I don't know why I said that, but
Jay,
yeah. But come talk to me after again. We can talk about it.
I have a question. For Instagram, how important is your grid? Does your grid really matter, or does the individual video matter?
The video, because it's in a feed of other videos.
So for the people who say, oh my God, my grid has to have consistency, my grid has to look uniform, is that bullshit?
No, because it's nice to have an aesthetic and look good. You know, when the viewer finds the video and they want to learn more about you, they can come and they can look at your grid. But I mean, it's just that doesn't make any difference to the views.
All right, here's the next question. Oh, okay, go ahead, Deep.
Hey, thanks, Suman. Hey, first of all, thanks so much for sharing all your insights. You work with people that already have 100,000 views. So can you give like 3 insights for people who are on their journey to get to 100K views so they could come one day and work with you? One of the things I hear is that you have to have a very clear storyline with some sort of contrast that captures people's attention. But can you share maybe 3 insights that could help the audience get to 100K views so they could work with you?
Well, yeah, like I know I'm sitting up here on this literal stool explaining that we have minimum 100,000 follower requirements. But I mean, the truth is that we started somewhere. And I can say that my memories of starting was that I used to sit there. Number one is understand what makes a good story. Like since I was 13, I was watching videos on how Pixar tells stories. You know, really understanding, because it's the only thing that matters is telling a good story. It's the only thing. There's no hashtags, nothing, right? And that story can be expressed in many different ways. It can be about a rat or about, you know, like an old man going in balloons somewhere. But like, so that's number one. Is like really understand storytelling is the advice. Number two, if you a lot of people have questions about like, okay, if I'm starting a new page, I have 0 followers. Like, how do I get my first followers? Again, like actually TikTok is the best at this. So the way TikTok works is if you could just have an account with 0 followers, post a good video, and it could get 2 million views. So your followers mean nothing on TikTok. It's just about the ability to tell a great story. So my advice is that just start posting, you know, and if you're not seeing any results, it's because the story is not good enough or that people just don't care. And if they don't care, then you can just keep seeing why they don't care and just keep going. And maybe it's 20, maybe it's 100, and you'll find which story works, and then you try to. Then the third piece of advice would be to then look at that stuff, break it down into buckets and formats of storytelling, so that you can repeat it with any subject. You know, so like an example is like Bashi, the Palo creator. He's a cooking creator in Japan. You know, he does one video with this certain dish. He has a really good format of like really fastly cutting the first 3 seconds and like not having any cut that's more than 2 seconds. Now he can do that with any dish. And now he has 100 million followers, you know, and he was telling me he was a janitor before he started making TikTok videos, and now he's like one of the most famous people in Japan, you know. So, and he told me, I can get advice from him. He just told me that he was obsessed with the sound effects.
Let's do the next question here.
Yeah, thanks for all the advice. So I work for a Gen AI company, and I was kind of like, you know, I'm a consumer, right? I watch MrBeast do all these things. And my video editor joined a Gen AI company, started editing. And all of a sudden, you know, I kind of, you know, just analyzing, seeing the videos. I'm like, how about I just put like a video on my page? I have 200 followers. So my question is, how much do you anticipate like current events, like sports or athletic videos? So I did an athletic video for Clayton Kershaw, one of those legacy videos that morphs. And I had 200 followers. And literally, I knew he was going to play his last game, so everybody was going to be posting about him. And then by the end of the night, my phone went dead because I got 1.3 million likes. I mean, 1.3 million views and like 60,000 likes. My dilemma was I got all these followers, like 10,000 followers, but then I stopped posting.
Right.
Because I'm like, I either have to commit to this or I don't.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, algorithms have controls and they think about real-time events. So like if it's a real-time event, it's probably going to get pushed a lot more, and it might be less about the story, more about that it's a very newsy event and you've got the best description of it. So I mean, what was your question? Like your
yeah, hold on.
Would you stick with that niche, like if it's working?
I mean, yeah, you could become a live sports news account, and that does really well. There's a guy that does news. He has 10 million followers.
Yeah, you answered my other question through his question. Basically, just keep trying different things.
Yeah, but I would say my advice is don't rely on, like, try to make evergreen things. Like Paris Baguette still gets views. It has like 1.6 billion views right now on YouTube, and it was posted in 2022. Just because it's an evergreen format. So
but maybe you could use the trends to kind of hyper growth to get you to the point where you can do more evergreen content.
Yeah, I'd say so. You can maybe find a story in there. But my advice is to try and find a way to tell evergreen stories that can be newsworthy whenever.
The next question's here.
Hey, thank you. I had a question about the algorithm of these platforms. So let's say you have 10 million followers, and then you have these videos that always get 5 million views. What if you post those videos? Let's say Instagram, you kind of mentioned about TikTok, but the same creator, if they start a brand new account with the same quality of the videos, what are the chances that that video is going to get 5 million views? So the question is also, how does, for example, Instagram algorithm know Jay is a great content creator, so I'm going to keep promoting his videos to get these high numbers of views, versus like somebody who has the same quality of video but not a big followers?
The big thing to keep in your head is that the followers really don't matter that much. It's the big underlying thing. And then I'd say it's different per platform. So you mentioned Instagram. I'm not like TikTok and YouTube I'm most obsessed with. Instagram we did very well on, but like Instagram right now, from my experience as a viewer, is very like these short, like it's just become memes, you know. So I don't really know what they're looking for. I can tell you that when I met with YouTube, they were describing the algorithm to me, and he kind of mentioned a piece about the quality. Like the way it works is that they look at things like content deserts, which are like really high production, or not high production, but high quality in the story and just in the feel, which they get that metric from the viewer retention, and like lack of supply, which what makes it a desert. And those are like the hot spot to try and hit. And we actually took that advice at Beast as like, you know, what is a concept that no one's done, that there's no supply of content, and make the very best video in that. So the followers, I mean, your main question, like the followers really don't matter on TikTok and YouTube. TikTok, you'll get faster success from 0. YouTube, you might need to do like 50 videos. Instagram, I really don't know. I wouldn't answer.
What are some examples of those content deserts that folks could maybe focus on?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. There's like a trillion niches.
Anything underserved.
Yeah. I mean, it really just comes down to the quality of the storytelling.
Jay, thanks so much for your time tonight. You're absolutely brilliant at what you do, and I'm glad that you've created a company to help others get really great at storytelling. What's your vision for Palo? Where would you like to take it? What's the ultimate success in your head for your new venture?
I'd say as AI makes it easier for people to create content, which is a very good thing, it's very exciting. Like with the generative tools, people that don't know how to edit can now edit a video, so that means they can post it. What it means is that there's going to be a large supply, and it already is, a much larger supply of content being put onto these feeds. But as an individual viewer, you only see maybe 100 videos a day. So the increase of videos compared to the increase of viewers is just not even close, right? So what it means is that it's going to get even harder as an individual in the big pool of people, in the big supply of content to get a video on that person's feed. And it also means that those videos are going to need to be the best stories and the funniest videos to get the privilege of being in those 100 videos that they might watch in that day. So my vision for Palo is, you know, like I said, focus on the storytelling and allow creators that aren't 0 to 1 but have their existing originality, that their existing storytelling, allow them to keep up and keep telling better stories without the labor and the time it takes to do that. Like if Josie went and did that, she would have no creativity left. You know, it's like you have to be like insane. So, but AI can do it. So I don't know. I would say visions. I don't really think that far ahead in like this big grand visions. It's just fun to build, and it feels like it needs to be there.
The next question's over here.
Hi, Jay. Thank you so much for all these invaluable insights and tips. My name is Celeste. I'm a musician, educator, and I am expanding my creativity platform to promote a message of how creativity is actually an essential tool for survival and health rather than a luxury and just an enhancement. So my question is, where is the balance between quality and quantity of videos? Because I'm at a very beginning stage, so this might be an amateur question for you, but how do we maintain integrity and quality and still try to make sure the output is, you know, because we're trying, right? Trial and error.
Yeah.
I'm very slow with my output, so please help.
I'll say firstly, it's okay to be slow with your output because I'm very slow and I have always been very slow. Like we did one video on one of my channels called The Oldest Person Ever. And it was like a 40-second script that would make no money because there was no money at the time. And we spent like, I don't know, I think it was like a total of 200 hours on the script, on the micro little things. So I say, don't worry about that. On the question of quality and quantity, what you need to get really close to the like strip the onion down and get to the principles of what you're trying to do, which is tell a great story. And to learn to do that, you have to have some kind of effort into the quality because you want to know that you're doing your best storytelling and your best effort. So I'd say, like, firstly, don't get fatigued by the production. As one of the things I said earlier, like just make sure that a lot of that 90% of your effort is on a Google Doc, on a storytelling aspect. How do I want the viewer to feel and work backwards from it? And then I'd say just try and do that as fast as you can because you want to get as much data as possible.
All right, I'm gonna ask a couple questions and then we'll have time for 2 more and then we'll be done. Jay, I hear through the grapevine that politicians are now interested in Palo. Is that true?
I can't.
You can't talk about that? Oh, okay. I thought that was one of the questions you approved.
No, I
You
can't.
didn't approve that one? Okay. All right, let me pass the mic.
Hi, Jay. Thanks for talking tonight. I had a question on, like, you mentioned authenticity being like very important, and I'm referring back to the Paris Baguette video, where at that time you were 14 and now
I was 18 at that time.
Oh, 18. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, AI is a big thing, and it's obviously a tool that helps you like understand the data and make better decision and strategic decision. What do you think? I guess my question goes on, what do you think the future will be now? Do you think like people will, their authenticity will still be there, or do you think like people will just kind of rely on AI to like better make better judgment on their content creating?
Right. I would say as long as there's a need, like if you go on Netflix, if there's a bad show, you're not going to watch it, and your friends aren't going to tell you about it, and the show will do bad. So it's really the control is in the viewers, and the viewers aren't robots and not machines, right? So they still need to be entertained. AI is not. It's not. The LLMs are not creative at their current point. They're just a bunch of ones and zeros. So I mean, what we do is that we use it as a way to serve them the data and give them the insights that are objective, and then you can generate a great script with it if you want to, but it's like you apply your own effort to it. But I'd say, I don't know, I feel like I don't really know what I'm talking about because I'm young, but like it's just good to just build tools as what they should be, which is just tools, like things that amplify your ability to do something, not make it easy to replace your ability to do something. So like even generative video, it amplifies your ability to get a picture from your mind onto a image on a screen. So that's a tool. So I don't see anything changing,
So there's a lot of speaking of which, there's a lot of generative AI that can track somebody's movements, turn them into an entirely different person. I mean, does this mean that there's going to be like a change in new platforms? Are influencers going to lose a lot of credibility?
Like deep fakes?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, when I was answering that, firstly, I wasn't even thinking of that aspect. I mean, there's going to be many bad things that come with it. There already are.
Maybe some.
I mean, it's up to the platforms and the government to. mean, I think it's like very easy, like you can't really disagree with a law that's like you can't use my identity to scam people. Like, I mean, but since that's been happening for ages, like the amount of times I'd get a message from one of my brothers when I was at Beast, and he was like, "Oh, shall I enter this giveaway?" I'm like, "What giveaway?" And he's like sending me this video of like supposedly Jimmy in like 2020, 2021, talking about some crypto thing that's just not real. And like YouTube was allowing that to be put on their platform and didn't take it down. I think Steve Wozniak had the same thing, and he's suing YouTube right now. So, I mean, that's been happening for ages. It's just, yeah.
Tell us the difference between TikTok when it was not owned by an American company and what it's like today. Is there a huge difference in TikTok today than what it previously was?
Do you have an answer?
Josie.
Josie's a TikTok expert.
Should we hear from your girlfriend?
Sure.
Hey guys, I do TikTok.
Josie, come on up. Come on up.
Okay, yeah, I'll come up. Can I sit down?
Please do.
Okay. Hey guys. I mean, I wouldn't. There's not really too many differences other than stuff that goes on in the back end, which I personally don't see. But I mean, I don't really think there's a difference now that it's owned. I don't even know who it's owned by, so I don't really.
Do you get the same amount of views that you've always gotten?
Yeah.
And the same engagement?
I get the same amount of views, same amount of engagement.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
About 3 million.
3 million. And how many DMs do you get?
This is horrible. I stopped checking a long time ago because there's too many. It's like when I open it, it lags, but I check on my Instagram DMs because
Maybe that's a good product development for Palo. You can automatically reply back to all your DMs.
That'd
right?
be good.
Maybe.
You should have that. Yeah.
All right, we have time for one more question. Who wants to take us out with a real banger? All the way in the back. Come on up.
Yeah, because we are in Bay Area, so I suppose there are lots of founders here. So I'm going to ask a question for all the founders here. I see lots of founders who are like they want to build their own social presence, like primarily to make it closer to their audience. So when it comes to the critical points that are missed out by the founders, what is the top one idea that pop out in your mind?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is that you think people care, which even any idea I've ever had, people don't care until you make them care, right? So like, and you make them care through the storytelling. I don't want to sound like a broken record. So it's not like you can't just, and this is at the very beginning, I said a lot of people just show the what and they explain the what, and they don't really give any emotion of the why or any kind of story that leads you to the what, so that when you see the what, you're a bit satisfied. It's just the what from the beginning and you don't really care. So I'd say that's, I mean, in a whole founder's journey, when they're pitching investors or doing anything, it's about storytelling. So I think in this, and then with the attention economy and the ability to get millions of eyeballs, if you're good at telling a funny story or a good story, I think it's worth just studying storytelling. And there's a good book, Creativity Inc. by Ed Catmull from Pixar. That's like, it's what everyone used to read when we were like in the Discord group chats, making the videos.
Hold on, Josie. What's your Instagram? What's your TikTok? So people can follow. You don't need any more followers, but what is it?
It's Josie K on everything.
Okay,
Just my
cool.
name.
All right, Nick, take us out.
One quick question. You mentioned the attention economy. Do you think that we're switching to the trust economy? It certainly feels that it's an important to have a relationship as opposed to like some kind of faceless conglomerate. It feels like things are changing, right?
I mean, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, there's like, there's an economy for everything. It seems like, you know. I think there's always been an element of human authenticity. That's why we film the videos on the phone, you know. So I mean, it's always isn't everything about trust? Isn't a brand just the level of trust it has? So
it feels like it's taken on even more important role in the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, because there's a lot of misinformation and nobody knows what they can actually trust, right? So like real people as opposed to like faceless brands seems like that's the future. Is it
right?
not?
I mean, yeah, I'd say so. If you, yeah, but it really depends. I mean, yeah, if you have a human there, you're going to convert way more. You have a brand. Most faceless pages don't have a brand. It's just the videos.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Anything else you want to say? Or well, since you're up here, you've got the the attention of all these wonderful people.
Don't put her on the spot.
Okay,
like that,
okay.
bro. Okay, all right. Come on.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate you. And be sure to tune in next time on February 4. Who are we going to have?
Okay, so everyone, we're going to make a big announcement. Our next guest, we actually have a side hustle called Crypto Zombies, where we talk about cryptocurrency. And our first guest for our first live crypto show is going to be poker player Phil Hellmuth.
17 bracelets, the most winningest poker player in the world.
And that's going to be, as you all know, Super Bowl is in the Bay Area this year, and it's going to be during Super Week. So it's going to be February 4th here at the hotel. Nick is going to send out the Luma tomorrow. So if you're not on the Luma, come find Nick or Sandra or Michael, and we will add you to the Luma. You were amazing, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Round of applause here. And be sure to get some delicious food at Oak and Violet. Thank you, Park James. We love you guys. All right. Till next time.
And everyone, Jay's going to hang out. So if you want to talk to him, he's here.
Time after time, I am lost without you in my world. I need you. I cannot rest. I realize, oh, you guide my life in a way no one can. Strength and hope are all mine.